Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Chief Research Technologies GovCon podcast. I'm Wilfred Ejiofor, and I'm here talking with the founder and CEO of KOI. She's won 4 contracts in the last 3 months, and I kind of want to understand her full journey, how she got here, what she's working on now, and where she's headed. This is a real conversation about breaking into government contracting in 2026. So let's dive in. I just want to start at the beginning. Before KOI, before government contracting, can you tell us about yourself? What's your background? Where did you come from? And how did you even discover this world of government?
My background is human service. I'm a Jersey girl. I'm living in Orlando now. I was trying to help with my background, neurodivergent adults and adults with intellectual disabilities, with employment, single moms, incarcerated men. Like, how can I help with something like that? And so Koi is the name of the company. And so we came through that thought process at the table at the time. And that's where we are now. And so getting into the government contracts was maybe 3 years in. 3 years in. At first, I wasn't doing government contracting. At first, I was just doing consulting for businesses. And then I was approached by a friend that's in government contracting, that's a professional. And then that's when it started.
Wow. So you were approached by a friend. How did that
So they knew the services that I provided was dealing with either financial, janitorial. We had my partner and I, a security company, armed, unarmed. And so that's what he was doing at the time. And I was doing consulting with companies and lawyers that needed assistance. And so the person reached out for the assistance at first for some lawyers and then when they had started, they were approached by a company, a huge company that's in the government space. And then they remembered the services that we did. And so that's when we were approached.
Wow. So you were approached and then you applied. And you said, what made you think I can do this versus this seems too complicated for me?
It seemed too complicated for me. That was the crazy part. There was none of that. It was more of let's do it. I prayed and God said, hey, I got you. And so we sat down, we received the first proposal from the company that wanted to partner with us. And we just reviewed it. And this is something we can do. And that's how it started. So.
Wow. Was that a government contract or was that just a contract with the private?
No, that was actually a government contract that this prime was trying to get into, but we actually provided the services and they approached us.
Wow. So were you a subcontractor on this or you were the prime?
We were going to actually be it wasn't even trying to be a sub. We were partnering all together. So it was going to be them as the prime, but in actuality, we were going to be partners of the whole business partnership with them.
Wow, that's very true. So is your organization, are you the solo founder or you're still in a partnership?
No, partner meaning like my partner as in a life partner.
Well, however you want to put it. I mean,
I'm solo. I'm by myself.
Wow, that's interesting. So wait, what was the year that you officially started this?
Officially started government contracting was in the end of 2023. That's when they approached us.
Wow.
2023 was when we were approached. It was maybe in November of 2023. And we sat down and I spoke with him, like, what do you think? And we came across and he was like, you can do it. And so with that support behind me, I started, and in January, we just started rolling in January 2024. I did all of it.
How did you support yourself while you were doing this? Because you say, hey, we want you to do this. And you're trying to figure it out. You're sending proposals. How are you supporting yourself?
I have a 9-to-5, as I'm sure many small business owners have. And with the 9 to 5, I'm doing that. That's how I support myself to pay my, rent, whatever I need to do, bills for me, car payments, even actually for certifications that I need. I'm doing that and using that.
So you kind of hit the ball. You kind of got it going in the beginning. My next question is, how long did it take you to actually get that contract and then execute it? When you got that, did you immediately say, let me go after another one while I'm doing this? Or did you say, let me complete this first? Like, how did that go for you? Getting that contract and maybe the next one, how did that work?
So when 2024 started, a couple of guys I reached out to that was actually assisting me through the other process with the big company that came to ask me. I spoke with them and said, I need a team. Do you believe in me? And if you believe in me, we're going to make this happen. And so they said yes. They believed in me. They went with, we all of us, the four of us together, became such they're a huge part of Koi and a huge family that they started running off. They were the ones that helped with what I needed to understand with the contracting space. Because even though I came in as a person that had the services, I still need to understand actually the terminology, how the bidding process goes, the POCs, the contracting specialists. So understanding all of that, I had to put people around me that knew that. And so when I approached them and we all sat down together, that's how it started. And when we won our first contract, when I'm telling you, I received that email, it was like 6:00 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. I called them and it probably was 1:00 a.m. daytime. All we could do was I got on my knees, I cried, thank God, and I thanked them. I called, my boyfriend, hey. And it was very exciting. Very, very, very exciting.
So even though they approached you, you had the skill set, they approached you, you made the proposal, you were still, I guess you knew you were kind of going to get it, but even though when you got it, you were still like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is really happening. Or is there still some uncertainty on, well, am I actually going to get this?
It was some uncertainty because we maybe had put in 20 proposals.
Wow.
And so, and it was crazy. Like that one was the first one we won was given to us, but we didn't actually work on that one until 2 months later.
Wow.
And so, and then it's just started after that. It was like, hey guys, we can do this. But, it was that first initial, yes, let's get it. You guys have it, to where we are now.
Were there moments where you were like, I don't think this is right for me. I'm going to give up. I'm going to do something else.
Yes, there were. It was because when you have people, you contracting people out, you have to pay them. And so it was just moments where like, okay, how can I do this? And I'm not making anything to even pay them, but I'm trying to get it there. And so there were those moments where it wasn't doubt into myself and my company and what we were doing. It was just doubt as in with the government seeing my company, Koi, as an actual contender or a company that can provide services, even though we weren't a legacy company.
Yeah, that kind of competition between the legacy companies, you're new on the scene.
Yes.
Are they going to recognize it? But I guess now they're starting to recognize. Do you feel like they're starting to recognize that?
When you approached me, I was shocked because I didn't even notice that until you actually approached me and said that, because it's been such a long journey, even though it's only been, like I said, 2023 and 2024 is when we actually received our first contract. But listening how it took so many long times in between bids to find out, and then to hear you say, hey, within this amount of time you won. I was like, wait, is that true?
Okay. Yeah. What do you think you were doing wrong in the beginning that you kind of figured out later on? And I'm sure you're still going through this all the time, but what do you think, you're doing wrong in the beginning that you figured out later?
I can say actually it was how our process then. Our process now is more quality instead of quantity. So we were more pushing for, getting more acquisitions. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And then now we are more streamlined. There were times when it was a lot of koi, maybe like 20 to 30 in 1 month, and it wasn't good. I didn't feel it was good for the team. And when in December, I sat down with them and I said, this is not going to work this way. It's not going to work this way. We have to do more quality and quantity. We can provide the services. They're going to get a good service from us. We already had a couple of contracts. Now let's look for something that we know that we can handle. And that's when we started the process now.
Like going after, making sure that quality, you feel like that's what changed everything.
Yeah. Instead of chasing a massive, highly contended route, we took more of a quality, more of a slower stance, and reviewed what we were going through, more input from all of us instead of just one person.
So you feel like when you made that switch, that's when you felt like you kind of started getting to a winning season, I guess? Or do you feel like, or some people say, well, the market changed, I didn't change? Or, how do you feel like that's when the winning season approached? When you said, let's go for quality guys.
You eat that, the quality, and actually the government changed too. The way the government is looking at the contracts, more of the FARs changed. So the FARs have changed. So being that the FARs changed, even it's weird to understand it. It changed more of a way towards a small business before than what it was. Now, the more you can have it where the way my services are, because we're certified in 6 states.
Wow.
And so, and that's just, and that's also this year. We were 3 states, and then our added 3 other states came and we became certified, and people reached out, government contracts and government agencies. And so getting the certifications now, so we have 6. And so, but our actual processing, how we do it is different. So we take our time. So even if we can do the work, we have staffing in all 6 states. But sometimes we can actually provide it for other small businesses in a way now that it wasn't there before because of the other partners that was out there.
Do you want to go a little bit deeper into that for some of the people in the audience who may be like, what's she talking about?
Good.
Yeah. Let's go. What do you mean by that?
I knew he was going to ask that question, so I had to write some notes down.
I'm sorry. It's just, this is getting so good. It's getting so good.
So, the FAR Part 44. So the rewrite of that is simplified the consent process for commercial subcontracting. It made it much easier for us to deploy our model as a small business to step into, absorb more of the quality, the QSAT. I call it QSAT. So we was able to get more of that. The oversight for us is more larger and consolidated contracts. So we're able to feed more tactical execution in our small businesses partners, and then having them just do more of the staffing side, and we do all of the quality, all of the follow-up, all of the QA, anything provide the government needs and requests. It's no one else. They only reach out to me. They reach out to us. I think a lot of times when you have primes, they put the subs in, and the subs doing all the work, and then they're not doing a great job in the work. They're not bringing a great quality of the work. I follow up, my guys follow up. It's only our team. It's no any outside. And so I think that's what changed with us. And so, and with that far helping, that's what helped us.
Wow, that's very interesting. And yeah, I didn't know we get into that. It's very interesting. So let's move forward to, what's working now. Let's talk about 2026. Just in the last 3 months, you've won 4 contracts. That's incredible momentum. Can you walk us through your process? How are you finding opportunities today?
Today, agencies are fine, are now the agencies, they're bundling the requirements, so that saves a lot of time, it saves a lot of money. They do a lot of holding things out. So usually with contracts before, you would have one agency, they may need a janitorial, concession stand, and security. Just say that was something that was a need. And then you had 3 different actually entities. Now the way they're bundling the contracts, they are putting all of that together. So they want one entity to provide all of that. And so with how my company is structured as a prime, we can provide all of that for what the government is looking for. And so I think that's what was one of the greatest things that changed for my company, was that.
Okay, that's very interesting. So what's your work like? Are you hunting for opportunities every day on SAM.gov? Are they inbounding you? They're like, oh my gosh, Koi is out. You need to email them. How's your workflow work like in a week?
Well, you speak that into existence. Yes, we want them to to contact us. No, that is not happening. We're on SAM, we're on state sites, we're on Bonfire. We are on those different little agencies that are used to send the procurements out for us to review and to look at. And so that's a daily thing. Last night, I went to sleep around 11 o'clock.
How do you decide what to bid on versus to pass? I know you're big on quality, but how do you decide, I'm going to bid on this, I'm not going to bid on this? How's that work for you?
We decide as a team if we can provide the service and the quality. That is the most important part. If we can provide the service too, I set COI to have a high level of services provided. So we're not going to just go to something. A lot of stuff is vague. We don't go for things that are vague. A lot of descriptions are very vague that's out there that they have, and we won't go for those. If it's very vague, that's something that we're just not going to do. My company, we're going to turn that down and just go to the next one.
Okay, and then I think you already touched on this, but what do you think is working now that wasn't working a year or 2 ago?
Well, what's really working is actually something that wasn't working before was we didn't have the past performances.
Okay.
So you don't get the award, how I'm going to have the past performance. So building up that past performances now, like we have taken little to none profit, to get our name out there to just receive the past performances. And having those past performances now behind us with our name and showing the different agencies what we can do, that's how we grow. So that has been something that has been a huge difference from before to now. It's having those past performances and showing that we are capable to, even though we're a small business, to go into this big ocean with all of these sharks and whales, and we can still float.
Wow. So, winning contracts, but you have to deliver, right? You talked about how you structured how, hey, we don't subcontract everything. We can do it in house. What's the biggest operational challenge?
Capital. Having capital and being a small businesses, banks don't see you as they would see a business that's already making that, and being able to provide certain agreements with them. So that's it. And in staff and having quality staff. A lot of times, people, it's the unemployment rate is so high. And so it's not as if staffing isn't out there. So it's easy to find people, but bringing the proper people for a career. We don't want to provide a person with a job. I want you to become certified in something. Like, even if you don't stay with my company, you're certified and you can go and build something for your family, be a productive citizen in your community, to be a breadwinner for your children, for your sisters and your brothers. We don't know what other people are going through. And I just want to make sure that we're providing that services and bringing people in who can do the work and just giving people opportunities. Like, sometimes we probably have never got.
Wow. How are we doing on time, by
I'm good.
the way? Okay, good. Okay, might be another 15 minutes.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, no problem. Let me ask you another one. So, how are you thinking about scaling from here?
So our delivery model is built purely for scale and flexibility. We absolutely have the capability to self-perform tasks, but thanks to a strong network of our ready to deploy staffing we built across the 6 different states I was mentioning earlier, we also have strategically as a prime to utilize the model when it comes to subcontracting, so when our internal team does the heavy lifting for the government, for the compliances, for the contract oversight and the quality assurance.
Okay, that sounds great. I want to ask you this. How do you figure out the right team structure? So it seems like you're very good at attracting people to the organization. They want to build careers under, your banner. But how do you figure out the right team structure?
We have just one executive team. That's it.
Okay.
We are one executive team. So I don't add to that team. What I would do, we would bring other people out, and we could have other, like, if I need a manager, like a contract manager, they would be over the contract, but they still not a part of the executive team. The executive team is just strictly us. And then we will go out and we can search, we can find staffing. I can go to whatever state it is that I need to go to. And then we bring that in this, but we don't go outside of us. If I become bigger and I'm sure I'm going to need more hands on and more eyes in, I can do that. As of right now, we are at a really a win-to-win, situation, and it's working for us because we just started the momentum, and we're going to get it to where we can actually teach after the fact. But right now, let's continue where we are with that part of the executive team, and then we can scale up higher.
Great. So looking forward, this is kind of 2 in 1. Where do you see Koi in the next 12 to 24 months? What's kind of the vision? And for someone who's maybe in month 3 or month 6 of trying to break into, GovCon, GovTech, government contracting, right? And they're feeling frustrated. What do they need to hear from you?
That's a natural reaction. It's a normal reaction. You can feel frustrated, but don't stop.
Mhm.
If you have that drive and you have the consistency and you have a great support system, I have a great support system. I consider him my brother, and he actually helped me here in the state I'm in Maryland, with him. And then the guys that that are on my executive team with me, my contractors, I have them there with me. I had my ups and downs personally, and I had that great support team on that side too as well. But built a support team around you, and just don't give up. Build some people that's not going to speak negativity to you, because that's going to just hurt you. That's going to not speak life. Have someone that speak life into you. My church family speak life into me too as well. I go into these things where I put myself in positions when I network with people who are of like mind too. You're not going to be alone. You're going to have other people went through what you're going through. And so just to put yourself in a circle of a network of people that has done that and been there, because my thing that I always was taught is surround yourself with where you want to be. And that's what I do. I surround myself with the people where I want to be in certain sectors and certain levels within lifestyles, levels within personal levels too as well. And just to grow, you have to grow. Don't stop. Don't stop pushing. Don't stop pushing. I'm a minority female in a area of providing services where it's not a lot of us. There's not a lot of us, and you can do it. You can do it. Just have faith in yourself. Make sure you have faith in yourself.
Wow. Well, this was incredibly valuable. I'm excited. I need coin.
We're here.
I can't afford it though, but I can. Anyway, this was incredibly valuable. Thank you for walking us through your journey. Where can people follow your work or learn more about Koi?
LinkedIn. We're on LinkedIn. You can reach out to, connect with us there. You can connect with me there. I'm also on LinkedIn. I do a lot of things with economic developments within the state of Maryland. So I'm there with that. So just reach out that way. My contact information is there too as well. And I'm open to speaking with everyone. It's not a problem. We learn from each other. And if there's something that I can teach someone, I have no problem.
Wow. Well, that's it for today. You've heard the full journey from starting out to winning 4 contracts in 3 months. If you're trying to crack the contracting code, this is the blueprint. Subscribe if you haven't. We're bringing you more real conversations with people who are actually winning. I'm Wilfred. Thank you for